football suffered a tough loss to Purdue on Saturday, and the final few minutes were nail-biting. Plus, Maryland volleyball earned its first Big Ten victory this weekend, and field hockey just keeps on rolling. All that and more coming up on the Left Bench.
They believe in us. God did.
The thing I love most is that we never stop fighting.
Hello and welcome to the Left Bench, presented by Terrapin Sports Central. I'm Kevin McNulty, that's Keara, Bruno, and Keara. It was a mixed bag of results for Maryland sports this past weekend.
Yeah, Kevin, you're right. There were a few triumphant wins, a tie, and then that tough loss at Secure Stadium on Saturday.
Yeah, and that is where we're going to start. Maryland football came into Week 6 against Purdue, hoping to move to 5-1 for the first time since 2013. The Terps were riding high after their relatively easy win over Michigan State last weekend, but Aiden O'Connell and the Boilermakers came into College Park on a mission. Let's pick this one up in the fourth quarter when Talia Tungabailoa found Roman Hemby for an 11-yard touchdown, giving the Terps a 23-17 lead. But on the extra point attempt, Chad Ryland's kick was blocked by Cam Allen, who appeared to jump off sides. No flags were thrown, and Mike Loxley was very upset. That changed the direct trajectory of the rest of the game. Purdue responded with an O'Connell touchdown pass to Payne Durham to take a 1-point lead. Following a Terps 3-and-out, Purdue drove down the field once again. Thanks to Devin McAbee's 1-yard touchdown run, the Boilermakers took a 31-23 lead with just a minute 20 left. That left Tungabailoa and the Terps offense with one more chance to tie things up, and they looked like they were going to do it. The Terps cruised down the field, and with 35 seconds left, Leah found Corey Dyches in the end zone, making it a 2-point deficit. The initial 2-point try was successful, but an ineligible man downfield penalty forced Maryland to redo the play from the 7-yard line. This time, Leah's pass fell incomplete, sealing a 31-29 victory for Purdue.
We had a lot of things not go our way today, but the thing I loved most is that we never stopped fighting. And that's something that I think we'll be able to build on. We had plenty of opportunities to win this game on the field with our play, not without all the other stuff that I'm sure everybody wants to talk about. But we had plenty of opportunities on the field to win this game, and we just got to execute and take advantage of those opportunities.
And although the Terps were unable to hang on for a win against Purdue, there were some positive takeaways from the loss. Our Alex Gary looks at how the Terps defense kept the game within striking distance up until the very end.
Coming into Saturday's matchup against Purdue, the Terps were not highly touted for their defense, as offenses have averaged 392 yards per game against Maryland this season. However, it was through their stellar defense that the Terps were able to keep the game close before falling to the Boilermakers 31-29. While the Terps were without a defensive cornerstone in Greg China Rose, the defense needed to establish themselves early. The Terps showed flashes in the first half defensively, but could not gain an edge as two potential picks were unable to be converted.
Coach Mike Loxley often highlights the turnover battle to be crucial to the Terps' success. In the third quarter, the Terps defense came up big, converting on 3 turnovers. However, it was the offense's inability to cash in off these turnovers that stopped them from gaining any momentum.
We've got to continue to find ways to create turnovers, but as I said, to have 3 turnovers there and almost 3 back-to-back drives where they gave us opportunities and we squandered them, and to not come away with points. I mean, you don't get those type of opportunities without them coming back to bite you in the butt.
Despite finding ways back into the game, an Aiden O'Connell pass to Payne Durham led to what would be the game-winning touchdown. Despite the loss, Jay-Sean Barham and Darrell Chami had games to remember. Barham tallied up 2 sacks, and Chami tallied 2 sacks as well, and recovered a fumble.
We just gotta keep going because Coach Williams always preaches at practice, always strip out the ball, always get takeaways because our goal is always 3 takeaways a game, and we got that today. So we just gotta keep going and get better every week.
As the Terps look to continue conference play, winning the turnover battle will continue to play a pivotal role in deciding the outcomes.
And Keara, I know the defense didn't necessarily get it done there late in the fourth quarter, but you can't forget about earlier in the half when they forced 3 straight Purdue turnovers, and the offense turned it into 0 points. That just cannot happen if you want to win football games in the Big Ten.
Right, and also we don't want to forget about that huge Shakorian Bennett interception there. But like you said, the offense had so many opportunities to cap on that, but Tagovailoa just didn't really look like himself out there.
Yeah, and as Alex mentioned, career days for Darrell Chami and Jayshawn Barham, who looks like he's going to be a menace on the Terps defense for a long time.
That's right, yep.
Certainly building blocks there. We'll see how they respond next week against Indiana.
Yep.
And Keara, Maryland football likes to say the best is ahead. But last week they received a message from a guy who likes to say, we the best. Listen to this.
University of Maryland, Coach Locks. They ain't believe in us. God did. That's right, man. Congratulations on all the blessings. Y'all keep going. Don't stop. DJ Keara sending nothing but love and blessings your way. They ain't believe in us. God did.
I mean, what? Like, how is that a thing that DJ Khaled is shouting out Terps football? I mean, some are calling it the DJ Khaled curse. I'm not convinced of that unless they lose to Indiana this next game on Saturday. But that was, what a weird way to start a Monday, seeing DJ Khaled
definitely.
on Twitter.
Just getting out of bed, picking up my phone, and seeing that. Quite the Monday morning. But let me just say this. He is the guy that says he has the keys to success, but unfortunately he just didn't have that key to the Maryland victory.
No, they didn't. Maybe next week.
Yep. Well, a few weeks ago, Maryland Athletics said goodbye to Capital One Field and hello to CQ Stadium. Maryland's largest state-run bank struck an $11 million deal with the athletic department, becoming the official banking partner for the Terps. The new name debuted on October 1st when the Terps hosted Michigan State for their Big Ten home opener. Here's what CQ CEO and Maryland Athletic Director Damon Evans had to say about the new beginning.
Now, while the name may be the most visible part of this partnership, it's not the only part. We have significant plans together, such as community service efforts, financial literacy, and much, much more. This is truly a partnership in every facet of that word.
Right from day one when our teams got together, we knew that our values aligned and we shared a great passion and love for the state of Maryland. This is so much bigger than our name on the stadium, although it looks great, doesn't it? We're excited. This is about education and financial literacy, helping thousands throughout our communities.
And we know the game at CQ Stadium this past Saturday wasn't the only Big Ten game in Week 6.
To tell us how the rest of the conference fared on Saturday, Nathan Schwartz is here to take us around the Big Ten. Nathan?
Yeah, you guys, the Maryland and Purdue game was the most exciting out of the weekend slate for the Big Ten, but there's still a lot to take away. The biggest news out of the conference last week was Wisconsin announcing that they'd be relieving Paul Chryst of his duties in the middle of his 8th season at the helm. Of course, the move shook some heads around college football as Chryst finished his tenure in Madison with a 67-26 record. But nonetheless, Jim Leonard was named interim head coach and led Wisconsin into Evanston on Saturday to take on Northwestern. It was an offensive explosion for the Badgers as Graham Mertz opened up the scoring with a touchdown pass to Skylar Bell. Then in the second quarter, Chimere Dike turned on the Jets, zooming his way into the end zone for a 52-yard score. The cherry on top for the Badgers came just before the end of the half when star running back Braylon Allen rolled out to his right looking to throw and found his fellow running back Ches Maluzzi for a touchdown. The speed and trickery for Wisconsin was too much for the Wildcats to handle as Leonard secured his first win as head coach. Now, while we're talking about teams in the West, Illinois and Iowa squared off in Champaign. And if you happen to watch the Colts and Broncos play this past Thursday night, the matchup between the Hawkeyes and the Fighting Illini was quite similar. No touchdowns were scored in this one, as Illinois came away with a 9-6 victory. And it was the third time this season the Hawkeyes scored fewer than 10 points. Back on Friday night, Nebraska and Rutgers faced off in another low-scoring affair, and the Cornhuskers snagged a 14-13 victory in Piscataway. Now let's shift gears to the East, where Ohio State and Michigan State matched up in East Lansing. And as expected, C.J. Stroud put on a show. The connection between Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't skip a beat, as the duo accounted for 3 of the Buckeyes' 7 touchdowns. Stroud finished the day with 6 touchdown passes, tying the school record. With his second touchdown pass, Stroud moved ahead of Justin Fields on Ohio State's all-time touchdown passes list, and he now sits in second place. Stroud's dominance, paired with a strong effort on the ground from Travion Henderson, led the Buckeyes to a 49-20 victory as they remain undefeated. The only other Big Ten matchup featured number 5 Michigan and Maryland's next opponent, Indiana. Blake Corum's stellar season continued as he broke off for a 51-yard touchdown run that gave Michigan an early lead. But Indiana quickly responded as Connor Bazelak found Josh Henderson on an 11-yard touchdown pass to tie things up at 7. After a slow second quarter, Michigan took the lead in the third on a 29-yard catch and run by Cornelius Johnson. And after that, the Wolverines never looked back, coming away with a 31-10 win in Bloomington. Now around the halfway point of the regular season, conference games will continue to get tougher and tougher, and that toughness was definitely on display over the weekend. And guys, as we look at the conference as a whole, it's clear that the Big Ten West is the side that's struggling and the Big Ten East is the one that's thriving.
Well, what's new, guys?
Yeah, it's been the same story pretty much since they went to the West and East format. And if Maryland was in the West, I firmly believe they would have a shot at winning it and going to Indianapolis in December. Nate, thanks so much.
Of
Thanks,
course.
Nate.
Now don't go anywhere, because coming up, we'll recap the rest of the action that went down for Maryland sports this past weekend.
And we'll also throw it back to this summer baseball season, as we'll be joined by Cape Cod Baseball League MVP Matt Shaw. All that and more next.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Hey, and welcome back to the Left Bench, brought to you by Terrapin Sports Central. Kevin McNulty, joined alongside by Keara Bruno, and Keara, Maryland field hockey is legit.
Kevin, you can definitely say that without a doubt, and they proved that at the Plex on Friday night.
Yeah, it was an absolute beatdown. Maryland took an early lead against the Hoosiers and didn't look back. The Terps had 3 penalty corners in the first 10 minutes of the game. And after having the first 2 shots blocked, the 3rd time was the charm for Emma DeBurdine. Got the ball off a rebound and pushed it into the back of the net for her 5th goal of the season. But that wasn't all for the Terps in the first quarter. With a little over 2 minutes left, Leah Krause passed the ball down to Bibi Donrad, who punched the ball past Indiana's goalie to give the Terps the 2-0 lead. Indiana answered back with its own goal just before the half ended, with a blooper shot that just went over the head of Paige Keft. The Terps kept control of the ball for most of the game, as they racked up 31 shots compared to 1 shot for Indiana by the end of the 3rd quarter. Maryland ran up the score with a goal from Margot Long halfway through the 2nd quarter, and a penalty corner again for Natalie Fichter early in the 3rd quarter.
It's shapes. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot of patience. And I thought our backs were exceptional today in controlling the game and lighting it up. I mean, you know, we had over 30 shots, and their goalie had 18 or so saves. So just keep shooting and keep doing the best you can. And
Maryland women's soccer came into Sunday's matchup on a 4-game losing streak. And if they wanted to put an end to that streak, they'd have to beat a team they hadn't taken down since 2004, the Penn State Nittany Lions. The Terps started out on the front foot with 4 shots in the opening 11 minutes. Michaela Days came closest for Maryland, but was unable to slot it past Penn State goalkeeper Catherine Asman. Penn State withstood the Maryland pressure and struck first 21 minutes in, as Natalie Wilson got on the end of a loose ball to put the Nittany Lions in front. Maryland looked like they equalized seconds before the half with a glancing header off a Sophie Venus free kick, but the goal was disallowed for offsides. The start to the second half was rocky for the Terps. Penn State was awarded a penalty kick 2 minutes into the half, but Maryland keeper Madeline Smith came up big to keep the Terps within 1. But 5 minutes later, Corey Dyke curled one past Smith, all but ending a comeback attempt by the Terps. Maryland outshot the Nittany Lions 12-8 on the day, but only a third of those were on target, which turned out to be the difference at Ludwig Field.
But we talk about, once again, just like sticking to what is our game plan and continue to get better every single day. But I was proud of their fight. I was proud that they outshot Penn State, a very talented Penn State team. And I don't know too many teams that have outshot Penn State. So it's razor thin differences right now. It's details and habits that we just need to get better at.
Now, Kevin, it started out hot for women's soccer in their season, but now losing 5 games in a row, they're kind of falling off a bit.
Yeah, even the Big Ten season got off to a good start with that win over Michigan. You can clearly tell that Megan Ryan Nemser has a long way to go with this program, but maybe they can pick up a few wins the rest of the way and end it on a high note.
Yep, that's right.
And that's not the only soccer team we need to talk about today, as Maryland men's soccer still has yet to lose a game in the Big Ten, after a win at Rutgers last Tuesday and most recently a draw at Northwestern on Sunday. The number 8 Terps traveled to Evanston hoping to continue their 3-game winning streak. But playing without leading goal scorer Malcolm Johnston, they struggled to get anything going offensively. Northwestern struck first, sneaking a rebounded shot past Niklas Neumann in the 61st minute. It looked like Maryland could have been facing an upset until the 74th minute when Nick Richardson sent a beautiful cross to Stefan Capetti, who headed it in to tie things at 1. And that's where the score would stand for the remainder of the match, as the Terps moved to 7, 1, and 3 on the year.
For Maryland volleyball, it was an electric Sunday on the court as the Terps traveled over to Piscataway to face off against Rutgers. Coming off a loss at home to Illinois, Maryland showed the Scarlet Knights who was boss early on. Sam Sire notched 5 kills and Braynell Jones tallied 3 blocks in the first set alone. The domination continued into the second set with a massive offensive effort, jumping to a 12-6 lead early on and not looking back. And in the third set, Maryland took a 9-0 lead and Rutgers had no response. The Terps came away with the sweep and their first Big Ten win this season. After that much-needed win, I'm sure they enjoyed the bus ride home as well.
Keara, it was a much-needed win indeed, especially after that home loss, a sweep to Illinois on Friday.
It definitely was, and we'll see if they can do it 2 times in a row when they take on Northwestern on Friday.
Yeah, and Keara, last time we were at the desk, we talked a little bit about spring sports, and we haven't discussed what Matt Shaw accomplished while playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League this summer. It was a remarkable summer for Matt Shaw. From mid-June to mid-August, Shaw played in 44 games for the Bourne Braves and batted .348 with 6 home runs, 24 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases. As the Terps infielder also represented Bourne in the Cape League All-Star Game on July 23rd, going 1 for 2 with a double and a steal. The summer of Shaw continued all the way into the league playoffs, where he added 6 hits and a home run in the final game of the championship series. The Braves clinched their first title since 2009, and they couldn't have done it without the league's MVP, Matt Shaw. And now we're lucky to be joined by the man himself. Matt, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
And Matt, I remember talking to you the day you got out to the Cape. You drove down the 2 hours from your hometown or so and played a game in Orleans that night. You went 2 for 4, and it seemed like you didn't let up the rest of the season. What was in the air out on Cape Cod this summer that let you have so much success?
I think, being consistent helps. At that point, I was at around game 70. And then finished off playing around 100 games. So, I had plenty of baseball play before that. And, I was pretty excited to be down there and got in a groove. And, there's no different of playing baseball in the Cape as there is playing baseball at Maryland or anywhere else.
And Matt, we haven't had a chance to talk to you about the historic season your team had here in College Park last spring. Between taking home the Big Ten regular season title, hosting a regional at the Bob, and the home run chase between you and Bubba Aline, it was quite a run. What will you remember most about that magical season?
I'm definitely going to remember the relationships that I've kind of made over the years. I'm going to remember Bubba and me and him going back and forth. I'm going to remember, our lineup as a whole was pretty deadly. And it was a ton of fun day in and day out because, every single day there was a new guy who was hitting homers, doing something cool. It was definitely a blast coming down the end, and Bubba and I going back and forth, and me and him were always getting on each other about little things, and it was a lot of fun. So.
And Matt, I know the championships in College Park mean a little bit more, but what was it like winning another title again with Bourne in August?
Winning is always fun. I don't think anyone doesn't have fun when they're winning. And, we just had a ton of fun. We had fun since the day I got there until the day we finished. And I think that was why we won. I think we just had so much fun together. We enjoyed being there. So just being able to be there the extra 2 weeks, some guys would have hated, but, as a whole, I think our whole team just really enjoyed being there together and playing baseball together.
And finally, Matt, we know you're in the middle of fall practice right now and you have a few scrimmages coming up, but what are you most looking forward to with your team in 2023?
I'm looking forward to seeing how we start to mesh together. I think we have a really good squad. We have some really good kids. We have really talented kids, really smart kids. And I think as we go forward, I'm excited to see how we start to work together. Because I think we're going to be, I think we have the same potential as we did last year. And I think we have a little more depth, and I think we might be able to go a little further, which is really, really exciting.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time today. And we can't wait to see you out on the turf at the Bob again soon.
Yeah, I'm pumped too. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
The Dirty Terps fall season gets underway with the game on the road at Virginia on October 22nd, before they return to College Park for a game against West Virginia in the Fall World Series, November 4th through 7th.
And keep it right here, because when we come back, we'll welcome some old friends back to the set. We know you missed them.
And as always, we'll crown our Terp of the Week, Pro Terp, and the top 5 plays of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back once again to the Left Bench, brought to you by Terrapin Sports Central. And Keara, we had a pretty tough decision to make when it comes to Terp of the Week.
That's right, Kevin, but I think we made a fabulous pick, so why don't you go and tell the people?
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's Maryland Volleyball's middle blocker, Raynell Jones, who set the all-time blocks record with her 650th diss on Friday against Illinois. Jones totaled 6 blocks in the match on Friday at the Xfinity Center Pavilion, and then she added 6 more against Rutgers on Sunday. The fifth-year player is a valuable asset for the Terps at the net, and she is our Terp of the Week.
And 2 Terps in the NFL, and more specifically 2 rookie Terps on the Tennessee Titans, have been shining recently. So we couldn't choose just one Pro Terp. We have to go with both Chig Okonkwo and Sam Okuwanu. The last 2 weeks, both players had huge firsts. Okonkwo had his first career touchdown against the Colts, where he caught 3 passes for 38 yards. Oh, and a victory came out of it too. Way to go, Chig. And Maryland football's 2021 sack leader Sam O recorded his first career sack during his first career game against the Commanders. Congrats to Chig and Sam O on being crowned our Pro Terps. Keep on making Maryland proud. Well, there were some pretty nice plays here in College Park recently, and we were able to narrow it down to our top 5. Kevin, let's get right into it.
All right, here we go. We're going to start over at the Plex, where Natalie Fichter off the penalty corner and straight in. Terps dominate Indiana 5-1.
And at number 4, we have Rakim Jarrett's toe drag against Purdue. Leah launched the ball, and Jarrett was somehow able to keep both those feet in bounds. Look at this, the kid definitely has some balance.
And it's not the first time he's done that. Now over to Ludwig, where Madeline Smith guessed right. There she goes against Penn State off the penalty kick, and what a save by Smith.
And at number 2, we have Corey Dyches going long, 68 yards long, in fact, for a touchdown, and taking one Purdue player 15 yards into the end zone with him. Would you look at that? Corey Dyches is him.
Corey, him, Dyches. Corey Dyches is him. Look at that. Are you kidding me? I was on the sideline, Keara, and I couldn't believe it when he got into the end zone with those guys hanging on to him. What a play by Dyches. And now for our number 1 play of the week, it's Malcolm Johnston with the bicycle. Are you kidding me? This was number 4 on SportsCenter's top 10 last week. Malcolm Johnston. And now, look who's here. Logan Hill, Noah Ferguson, thanks so much for joining us. We missed you guys. It's the Wright bench, the Wright brothers. These two are back just to kind of talk it up. It's really good to have you guys back.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I really like what you've done with the place.
It's a lot different.
Logan, good one. So, how are the boys doing? What's the update? What have you been up to?
Whole lot of vibing, chilling, the usual. You know us.
Yeah, just getting these grades, watching these Terps, and writing and talking about it.
Yeah, these Terps. We've talked a lot about them over the course of the last half hour or so, and it's been fun. But we're definitely looking forward to the men's basketball season, right? Year 1 under Kevin Willard. We covered a lot of men's basketball last season. What are your guys' predictions for this upcoming season?
I think there's going to be a lot of energy around this team this year, energy that they were missing after Turgeon leaves, after Danny Manning takes over. Just he's brought in a lot of new recruits. Just the fraternity of greatness thing was another thing to just kind of juice up the program a little bit. And I don't know where they fall in the Big Ten, in the record books on the season, but I think it'll be a new era of Maryland basketball and way more fun to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, as we know, with new coaches, a lot of new players. So, but I do think that the 500 record, which they didn't achieve last season, I think that's still in play. So a lot that we don't know yet, but I think the future is bright there. So I'm looking forward to watching this upcoming season.
Yeah, 500 could definitely be a goal for this team. I mean, they still have Dante Scott and Akeem Hart around for their senior seasons. You're right, they should be a fun team to watch. I'm looking forward to those games in December when you got the Danny Manning revenge game against Louisville in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and then UCLA coming to College Park, a little bit of a preview of the future of the Big Ten, right, when we have 16 teams in the Big Ten Conference. The month of December should be fun, and we'll get to feel where this team is at, right?
For sure, and just you mentioned a couple of games right there, and it's going to be one of those years where you're going to want to tune in pretty much every night that they play just to kind of see the new dynamics at play, the new chemistry. I mean, that team last year, they kind of mismatched it together, and that was the question, was chemistry. This year, they started a little bit earlier, got a new head coach at the helm. This is all about building a team and building a program this year.
We'll see how they can do. Brandon, we're going to play a little game with the boys because, that's what they come up here to do. We'll play headbands, but we're quite...
His debut on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you put in a lot of work for Terp Central, so you really deserve this.
Thank you.
Love you.
All right, we're playing headbands with index cards because we're quite low budget here on the left bench. But, guys, don't take a peek. What?
Don't hand them all out at first. We can see right through them, right?
If you're a cheater.
No, if you're a cheater, go ahead and tape that to your forehead. All right, and on each index card, which we finally got the tape on, they're ready to go on our foreheads, is the name of a Maryland athlete or coach or a former player. We don't really know, but we're going to play a little game of headbands and try and find out what player or coach or alum is on our forehead. So we're all taped up. We're all ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, here we go.
It's go time.
Okay, I got to flip it one more time.
Is mine good?
Is mine good? I don't even know.
You're upside down. You're upside down.
How do I look?
You look great.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll start guessing.
Yes.
Men's or women's sport?
Oh, you're going first.
Women's sport.
Yeah.
Women's.
Okay. Outdoor or indoor?
Outdoor.
Outdoor, okay. Spring or fall? Fall. Okay, I got it down to 2. This is going well. First year head coach for this team or a coach that's been doing it for like maybe 30 years?
Second
30 years.
Okay, so sport is field hockey. Is it an athlete or a coach?
It's an athlete.
An athlete. Are they from this country?
Yes.
Okay. Am I Emma DeBurdine?
No.
Am I Hope Rose?
Yes.
Let's go.
Wait, that was great.
Yeah, you saw the process of elimination?
I didn't know we were asking questions. I thought you guys just shout stuff.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
No, I like yours better. Let's do that.
Okay. I
already know my player.
Okay.
All right.
So am I next?
Yes, go.
Okay. Spring or fall sport?
Fall.
Outside or inside?
Outside.
We'll say outside.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
Kevin,
is that
just do
even
your
a
best.
question?
She's not really looking at you. Well, like
outside.
Outside.
It's an outside.
Outside.
All right, guys. Football?
Yeah,
Yes.
you got it.
Okay. Coach or athlete?
Athlete.
We had to think about it because he's no
Current
longer on the
athlete?
team. No.
Oh.
Alum.
No.
Alum.
Okay. Can I ask like the position?
Yeah.
Sure.
Offense or defense?
There's like a 90% chance it's a wide receiver.
Okay.
We are wide receiver.
So wide receiver, alum.
Any guesses that come to mind, Keara Bruno?
I want to say one, but
Warmer.
DJ Moore.
Say it. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought you were gonna go with Stephon Diggs first. And you went straight to
Yeah, that's why I said any that come to mind, because he's like one of the best wide receivers.
My brain's a little slow today. It's been a tough day.
Yeah, we know.
All right, does that
We
make
know.
it my turn?
We know, yeah.
All right, male or female?
Female.
Female. Okay.
Well,
not an ass, so I'm gonna go with it's a coach.
Yeah. This shouldn't take long.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor.
Brenda Freeze.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
All right, I'm locked
He ate
in.
his Wheaties
Hit me.
today. All right.
Okay.
I came prepared. Terp Central.
Fall or spring?
Spring.
Well,
I know,
this
right?
one's a doozy.
Yeah.
This
Get
one
both.
is this was whoever wrote this card. You're
good
using a
work.
big brain today.
Okay. So fall and spring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared Bernhardt.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, that's
Great
easy.
job.
Yeah.
Because football and lacrosse.
I'm glad to see you got there.
Wait,
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got there.
I suppose it used to be a spring sport that he played. Now he's in the fall playing for the Falcons. But
Way to go.
guys, that was a lot of fun. We're 4 for 4. That's very rare.
Yeah. No,
Katie
we're
Marr could
lucky.
never. She'd be still
no.
guessing.
Sorry, Katie.
Yeah.
Just kidding, miss you.
No, she was always
she wasn't.
clueless.
Yeah, she's not locked in like us.
Best is ahead, guys.
All right, that was good, guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Noah Ferguson still covering Maryland football for the Diamond. No, you leave it on for the remainder of the show, okay? Noah Ferguson still covering Maryland football for the Diamondback, and Logan Hill hanging out. You're invited to every single show the rest of the semester. You got it?
I'll make that happen. Probably not.
All right. Well, maybe we'll switch it up. We'll kick Noah off and have you come up here with Brandon. Because I don't know.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I don't know. He really needs to come on the show.
Right, Junior.
Yeah, he was. Well,
We also need to have you and Byron on because your travel stories have been.
He's working on one right now.
Yeah, they're. Oh yeah. Yeah. See you at Wisconsin, everyone.
Yeah, that should be fun. All right, thanks so much, guys, and that'll do it for this edition of The Left Bench.
And make sure to keep up with all of Terrapin Sports Central's coverage on Instagram, Twitter, and online at terrapinsportscentral.com.
And we'll see you next time.